Hi guys, welcome to the Brown Family Joy. So as most of you know, we bought a property in Tulum, Mexico, and we get a ton of questions about how we went through the process. Today we're going to answer one of the questions. So if this is something that excites you, then stay tuned.
So the question we're going to be answering today is why Mexico?
The first reason why we chose Tulum, Mexico is because of the proximity to the US. We live in the US currently, and a flight from where we live to Mexico is about 3 to 4 hours depending on which airport. So it made the most sense to choose a place that is close to the US so that it's easy for us to go back and forth.
Also, the infrastructure and amenities over there. I mean, in comparison to Ghana, I would say that Mexico is well developed. You know, you could tell from the roads, from the airport all the way to Tulum, where our house is located. The roads are done nicely. There's less people on the roadside selling stuff, which you can find a lot of those when you go back home. And traffic, of course, traffic is everywhere, but in Mexico, I think it's well regulated compared to Ghana.
Also, if I'm being honest, one of the reasons why we love Mexico is the freedom to be ourselves, right? We both grew up in Ghana, and when you travel to a place, especially for vacation, you want a place where you can be yourself, you can self-identify and be a completely new person if you wish to. And I feel like Mexico gives us that, versus Ghana, where we have family ties. So when you go, you still have to hold on to those family connections and make sure that you are sorting people out here and there. You end up spending more because you have to make sure that you take care of the family. But when we go to Mexico, we do not have to think about any of that. We just think about us and we have a great time.
The cost of living, for example, right? I feel like in Ghana, people do charge in dollars, whereas in Mexico, it's rarely the case. People actually charge in pesos. They actually promote charging in pesos than in dollars. And charging in dollars devalues your currency, your home currency, which is why the cost of living in comparison to Ghana is cheaper in Mexico than it is in Ghana.
When it comes to owning a property, we thought about property management, right? And when it comes to Ghana, it was going to be challenging to avoid family involvement. And we all know that family involvement sometimes can cause tension, and also we wanted to avoid any sort of dishonesty that could come about as a reason of, oh, this person's, I know's property or that. Just wanted to avoid the dishonesty that comes with family ties managing your property. If you know an uncle or a parent who has ever built or purchased a property in Ghana, you know how that goes. And not just in Ghana, in Africa for that matter, you know. So we just wanted to avoid all of that and just pick a neutral ground where we know we can have control. We wanted to hire a professional, someone that can just be a professional and take care of the property and manage the property when we are not there. And that is something that is a little challenging to find in Ghana. So that is one of the main things that we considered when choosing Mexico.
Also, I feel like in Mexico, tourism is developed compared to Ghana. And again, we are not saying all of this to downplay Ghana. No, this is all our perspective. We've been to Ghana and we've been to Mexico, so we know both sides. For example, rates for locals and tourists. I would say in Ghana, there might be rates for tourists that would change depending on who you are, how they perceive you as, you know, whereas in Mexico, I feel like the rate is just fixed regardless of who you are, you know. And also, I could say they reinvest the revenue they make from these tourists into the city that the tourist attraction is in.
And also, I feel like just the number of tourist attractions that are in each city, right? If you look at Tulum alone, there are hundreds of tourist attractions in there. Even close to the house, there is so much that you can do. Versus in Ghana, you may have to travel a longer distance to be able to visit the most renowned tourist attractions.
I agree.
Also, when it comes to like reinvesting into the economy, like you can see it, right? And of course, like every country has corruptions and things like that, but you can see that they focus on the towns that have those tourist attractions. So like more development in Cancun, more development in like coming in Tulum, to make sure that when people come there to enjoy their tourism, that they have better infrastructure, that they have things aligned for them. Also, I think one of the reasons why we ended up choosing Mexico is because of affordability. Now, though this is debatable, right? Because both are developing countries, and depending on the property that you pick, one might be more affordable than the other, but this is our perspective, right? For us, we think a property the size of ours in Ghana, in a location that is premium, like what we have, because we are in like a premium location, a gated community, it will cost you way more than we had to pay for the Tulum property. Again, our house is a 3-bedroom that can expand into a 4-bedroom, and it has 3 full baths, it has a pool, it has balcony, it has a rooftop, like it has so many things that is in a gated community, right? To find that in Ghana, you may have to pay a little more than what we paid. Maybe not a little, maybe a lot more.
Do you want to know how much we paid for it?
Also, last but not the least, we just love it there. It feels like home. We visited the first time in 2022, and we fell in love. And since then, we've gone back a numerous amount of time because we just love it. And all these reasons that we've also given adds on to the reasons why we love it so much. And if you're somebody who is looking to purchase a property abroad, or you're just somebody who loves fun and loves like a peaceful lifestyle, maybe Tulum could be a place for you. And so think about it. And let us know in the comments if you have any questions. We're going to be doing this series to explain our process and the things that we've learned through this process. So don't move. Stay tuned, and we'll come back to you with the next video. Okay?
Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Bye.